Burn them bow down, Mike and Dylan hate drama, but the bow wow. Welcome to Mike and Dylan hate drama, where we slowly, in front of your eyes, lose our house and home.
Is it really that slowly? Because I feel it's pretty rapid these days.
It's pretty quick when you think about it. When we do the documentary, when I'm out in the streets with some YouTuber in my face, going to be like, this is the guy that made the forklift jokes. Can you make a forklift joke for us, guys? And I'm just like sitting there like, oh, forklift certified. Like fucking just be like, oh, just give me $20 so I can get some more meth or crack. I don't know which one. Yeah, I don't know which one I'm going to be addicted to. So we're going through this problem right now where it's like, I don't know, if we're not like pushing something, the platforms just ain't fucking with us. I don't know what to do with that.
Well,
on that end,
TikTok wants us to push Labor Llama, but then won't let us make money off of the videos that then get pushed by Labor Llama because like they want us to sell so they get a cut, but then they don't want to pay us either which way because like ultimately we don't actually make money off of Labor Llama right now. Like,
correct.
It's literally it's
passion project.
Yeah. We got a lot of those.
Everything's a passion project, and I'm telling you what, passion is waning. Passion is waning. Ozzy Osbourne died.
Yeah,
that's
that was one of the first CDs I ever had. Was the Black Sabbath album.
Yeah, it's very sad. I immediately within 30 minutes like made a joke about it, and people were like, "Too soon," and I'm like, Ozzy would have liked. All it was.
Well, and the thing is he literally outlived anybody that did the stuff that he did.
Russell Simmons is the funniest one. The funniest one that he outlived. The guy who did all the workout shit, and the healthy stuff. So Russell Simmons made it to 76 and one day. Ozzy made it to 76 and 7 months. So whoever tells you to, and I need to take this advice too, but whoever tells you to stop like smoking and quit doing drugs, fuck them. Like they're just trying to hate on you and they want you to live a less happy life. So you go out there, you do them drugs. All right.
Well, where's Mick Jagger at on this? He's still kicking, ain't he? Did he die?
Does he do a lot of drugs? He just fucks a lot of women, don't he?
I thought he was like a big drug guy too.
I don't know.
I never listened to the Stones really. Everybody always, they're one of those ones that like everybody's like, oh my God. And I'm like, they've got some good songs, but I never am like, I want to listen to the Stones.
What's so funny too is like, you know, women were obsessed with Mick Jagger. Fucking obsessed with him. And all I knew was old Mick Jagger. So I'm just like, what the fuck is like, and then I saw pictures of him young and I was like, you know what? I'd suck his dick. No. What else happened? I mean, now also, I think, you know, in better news, something that's a little bit more uplifting, you can now Venmo the United States government to pay off the debt.
I mean, they're in it deeper than we are. Like the good thing with them though is like, they're just like, oh, no, we don't default. No, we don't default.
That's right.
Like, we don't get to tell the banks, like, no, don't take my house.
Seeing all them all them millionaires struggle, looking at that big old debt number that affects them absolutely in no degree whatsoever, and to know that I can send them money on Venmo, money that has been taxed tremendously.
And the interest on it. Because like every dollar that technically the Federal Reserve gives us is debt dollar. Because like technically the government owes back more than that dollar's worth for having the dollar. So it's literally like
we tried so many times to stop a Federal Reserve in history.
Let's do it now.
Then all it took was JP Morgan saying he was going to withdraw his money from the banks, which caused everybody to go withdraw their money from the banks, which caused the banking system to collapse and propelled us into the Great Depression. And then it was like, oh, well, you know how we can get out of this, right? We could just, you know, start a little Federal Reserve, borrow some money from them, start stimulating the economy, and then bam, here we go.
I think
fucked for all of eternity.
I think there's a lot more to it. I watched a guy like break it down, and like it's wild to see how, because basically when it was signed into law, like the president before that didn't want to do any of that. But
no,
then it was just
never.
Like basically strong-armed into making a decision.
Yep, through the Great Depression and all that shit. And look, people will be like, well, it's a conspiracy to say that, you know, the things are ran by the Illuminati. Okay, look, I get you. We might not know the name, all right? But if you say if you look at somebody and be like, there's a select few families that are like really on top of the world, everybody would be like, yeah, right, right. And if you got like a little club like that, wouldn't you want a cool little nickname? Yeah, sure. Sure. And I'm like, all right, so Illuminati. And they'll be like, nah, conspiracy theorists. I'm like, no, no. Like, we understand that the families that were very, very rich, well before the Rockefellers, Morgan, that, at one point was, had more money than the United States government.
Yeah.
So it's just, once you say Illuminati, people are like, oh, get your tinfoil hats on. But you could be like, do you agree that rich people run the country? Oh, yeah. You're in a cool little select organization like that. You don't want a nickname? Oh, no, I would love a nickname. Illuminati? No, you lost me, buddy.
And I think the hard part is like the connotation that comes with the Illuminati and like the other shit that they talk about. Like the name does not matter as much as what is happening, and I think that's the part. And this is why, like, it's just fucking insane that people are still like, yeah, but my team's the good one. And it's like, no, like they're all fucking bought and paid, like all of them. We're just like literally being led around by our nose by this group that everybody agrees exists. It's there. There's the rich people that have that power that, love or hate Donald Trump. He's not actually the guy in charge. Like, you can say that he is, and yeah, to a point, but there's people that are actually like, you know what? Let's not release the Epstein list.
So, well, there never was an Epstein list, Dylan. Gosh, let's not talk about things that, essentially, when you bring up the Epstein, that's Bigfoot. Like, there's no...
Yeah, just like there's no Illuminati.
There was never a list. We thought there was a list, and there was definite proof.
And they just
that
gave
there
out
was
names
files,
from that, but not.
Yeah, they gave out some names from the make-believe files that were definitely there that they had proof of that never existed. Correct.
Yeah.
But once again, I wonder how deep we have to go into the conspiracy tunnel before we get the black vans pulling up.
I don't think we're not actually like we would have money. We would be able to pay our mortgages if the black vans were pulling up, because that would mean enough people heard the crazy shit that we're saying. Yeah. So like, we really don't have to worry about that.
How sad would it be to just die poor? Like, that would suck. To just we're gonna preemptively take them out. We're gonna take them out before they get a name. That would suck so much dick.
Well, it was crazy. I've been buying a lot of shit on Marketplace for like exercise equipment and stuff, and so I have to drive down to Charlotte and like hours away in order to pick up all this stuff. And so I've been listening to podcasts a lot more, which I think you should do as well.
You should check out Mike and Dylan Hate Drama.
It's a good one. Yeah. But I know the guys personally, and I don't trust them, so I just listen to something else instead.
The fat one seems kind of shisty.
No, he's the one that like he's entertaining. The other guy's just like, blowhard. But so I was listening to Joe Rogan because I haven't listened to many of his episodes recently. And for one thing, you really like the best time to listen to a podcast is driving or work. But, I work with you and we can't really listen to podcasts while we make podcasts. So,
right.
But yeah, I was listening and he had this guy from, I think it was like James Talico or something. He's like a Texas representative. And it was just refreshing to hear a legit politician. Like, he doesn't get paid. Like, he's like, I think it's like $7,000 a year they make, but like, obviously you can't have another job while you do it. So most of the people that do it are like independently wealthy or like have a silver spoon. And so like some of them are jaded, but like, it was just interesting to hear him and the conversations that he has with, he's a Democrat, but he is like also going to be a minister. And so the whole podcast started talking about like the 10 commandments in schools, and like Texas is like fighting to have the 10 commandments put in schools. And it eventually gets around to like who is footing the bill for all this at the end of the episode. Like, spoiler alert if you haven't listened to it, but obviously, it's a podcast, so they go on a lot of stuff. But there's two guys in Texas that are like billionaires, and they're also like, they made their money in like oil and gas and stuff like that. But now they're mega church preachers. And so they are the ones like financing all the politics. Like, so they're trying to like get rid of like public school. They're trying to like put prayer in all the schools. Basically, they're aiming to like make a theocracy. And like this guy, the Democrat, is also a Christian, but he's like, that's not what we should be doing. Like, Christian, like his two facets of Christian of Christianity is like you got to love God and love your neighbor. Those are the only two things that he says Jesus really like was on about, was love God and love your neighbor. And he's like, other than that, like we're fucking up, like worrying about like gay people and transgender and all this other like abortion. No, just love God, love your neighbor. And but then like he pulled back the curtain of like who's behind all
Gay. Look, as someone who feels like they can speak on the Christians in America, look, why, like, if y'all are already going to paradise, why do y'all gotta like control everything here? I get it. You believe that you have the ticket to paradise, and I'm not the one to tell you that, you know, this is fake, this is what happened. I'm not the guy to tell you that. I am the guy to say, if someone doesn't believe in what you believe in, that's cool. Like, you don't have to then try to like force it down every, especially when you believe that you are going to paradise. So why do you got to fucking shape this into your paradise also? I love a good pair of titties. I love me a good pair of titties. I'm not going to have someone say, hey, you fucking look at titties, fucking masturbate, you're going to hell. And then a lot of them turn around and fuck kids, man. It's so fucking weird. Look, how about this? How about if you want your kid to have the 10 Commandments at school, put it on his fucking notebook. Let him just like walk in there. Have your kids take a Bible to school and preach the word of God. Because I guarantee you, as soon as them kids step out of that fucking, out of your car, they're going to be stuffing that Bible deep in their book bag and not fucking talking about it. How about just you go do that? You fucking spend your life. Just go spend your life doing that. Like, make that your life's work. Fucking quit what you're doing. Quit making money. That's a worldly thing. Quit making money. Just go out and 100% just dedicate your life to preaching about God. You do that, okay? And then everybody else can just live their life normally, okay? We ain't gotta go to a school or anything like that and fucking start praying, because the same person that's like, yeah, we need to hold these prayers in church and fucking, you know, we got to get the kids while they're young.
School.
Yeah, in school, are the same ones talking shit about like Muslim people fucking praying. They'll be like, look at that weird shit.
Yeah.
Well, look at that weird shit where you force children in a school to pray to God because you believe in him.
And not their God. Like, that's one of the things that like he was talking about, is like when you force this version of a religion onto somebody, it makes them actually push away from it, because they're not coming to it because they've been invited into it. They're being forced. It's like when you make your kid do chores. Like, they're not like excited to like be like, I'm a responsible young kid. No, they don't want to do the fucking dishes, but it eventually helps them grow and stuff like that. But like, it's, if you try to push religion,
it's like the church girl sucking all the dicks in the church van. Yeah. Bro, seen it. We seen it. Like, you've lived it. Like, for people listening to the podcast, like, yeah, we knew her. Like that. I mean, that's fucking, it's so crazy, man. You don't have to push your religion on people. There's thousands of religions, and I get it. Everybody wants to be right. Ain't nobody got proof. You just got to have faith. Look, you figure it out when you die. I don't think God is going to hate you because you didn't believe in the specific version of him that man told you. Once, like I said, once a religion tells you to obey the laws of the land, that's when it was written by man.
Yeah.
That's when it was written by man, because essentially with like religion is supposed to kind of be that, you know, escape from like whatever you're in. Like, think of like every religious story and there being slaves and slaves freed and shit like that, and countries being freed by this God, this deity that's like, you know, rebel and all this shit. Bro, once you say, hey, you should obey the laws of the land, no matter what they are, because that's what God would want you to do. Like, okay, God, if I'm reading this in fucking somewhere where they're like, oh, we'll behead you for believing in this, like, so don't believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it contradicts itself, bro. Look, I believe in God, okay? I believe that God gave us absolute free will, which means there's no divine intervention whatsoever. I also believe, like, you know, he plays the role of father. He's there to like guide and support. That's where your conscience comes from. It's where if you're going to go do something bad, you're like, oh man, I'm fucking up. Or if, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I need to do this, like fucking the inspiration and shit like that. Besides that, bro, fucking live your goddamn life. Like, live your fucking life. Like, you're not going to piss off God because you coveted thy neighbor's ass, all right? If she got a donkey, covet that bitch. But he's not going to hate you of it. Like, you're not going to sit there and hate your kid because your kid fucks up.
See, that was one of the things that he was talking about, because like he's going to seminary school and all that. But like he was talking about
seminary school. God, they just can't get away from sex. Jesus Christ.
So they were talking about like how the country was founded, and a lot of the founders and the people that signed the Declaration of Independence and everything, they were deists. They weren't Christians. They weren't Baptists. They weren't Jews or anything like that. They were literally just deists, which means it's kind of like what your theory on it is, like there is something, but like they were so enthralled with like how physics and all these things work together and like the natural order of things. And so the way that James had explained it, like how he viewed their deism, was that they were like, God was like the ultimate like clockmaker. He made the clock and then he bounced out. So like he made this whole setup, this system that works together and everything like kind of coincides, and they all the things work together, but the clockmaker is gone. Like he's worrying about making another clock somewhere else, not worried about our little like happenings that are going on right in this moment. It's not like, he's with you right now, Mike. And so that's the way that he kind of broke down the way that the founders were, is
Right.
like, they were more like in like Masons and things like that, where it was, you have to believe in a higher power, but it doesn't matter which higher power it is. Because also one of the things that he brought up, like it was a really good episode overall.
Why do you have to believe in a higher power to be a Mason?
I think it's just,
maybe you guys should just turn off this podcast and go turn on that Joe Rogan one, because it sounds like that guy has way more information.
No, and I'm not like, I mean, of the value is the conversations that are happening, but like ultimately, like what he was getting at was that it's not, each religion for the most part says like, be good to your neighbor, like be good to the people that you don't know, and like treat them well, like don't be vengeful, don't be hateful, don't be all these things. And like that's the premise of most religions, and then it gets perverted by those like leading. Like
it's so weird that people will look at these fucking preachers of these mega churches and be like, those are the good guys, that's what God wants.
Yeah, he wants him to have 4 jets.
Who is that literal demon? Like he's bro. If you told me, if he was like, go point out just the absolute ghoul. What is his name?
I know Pat Robertson.
No, the one that said about the plane. Yeah, he needs the plane. Don't you question me. Yeah. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If someone was like, bro, point out a literal ghoul, a fucking just a near dwelling demon, that I'd be like, that guy.
Well, like
out of everybody, that guy.
All of them are mixed into shit, because like Pat Robertson has a bunch of like diamond mines in Africa, like blood diamond type shit. And so like all these, like they're not good human, like fucking home dude down in Georgia, what's his name? That like, or where was it where there was the hurricane and he had the mega church where people could like go
and he shut it off. Yeah. He shut it off.
He's just like, no, you can't come in and
you can't come in my church. You're gonna fucking you're gonna get dirt and mud on my carpets.
Like, no.
And that is exactly what God would not want.
Why can't,
and then all these churches, Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen, yeah.
Osteen, there you go. And then it's just like preachers like putting bars up so homeless can't like sleep under the awning of a church and shit like that. And it's just like, guys, if you sit there and you're like, this is what God wanted, I hate to tell you, you're part of the bad side. See, like if you read something and you're like, there's a good and there's a bad, yin and yang. Look, every religion, everything in life has the duality of good, bad, okay? If you're sitting there and you're like a homeless person who's probably dealing with some form of mental illness, PTSD, whatever, and you're like, ooh, nasty. National fucking tragedy happens, I'm not allowing people in. Guess what? You're part of the bad team. Also, we could start a mega church, because look, they make so much money, bro. I remember being like 18 and there used to be infomercials for Miracle Water.
Really?
You drink the water. Yeah, you get the Miracle Water. I don't know if you drink it, if you fucking put it in a necklace. But bro, it was real infomercials. It was not a comedy skit. But it was like, I bought my Miracle Water, and 2 weeks later, I got a check from the government for $50,000. And I'm just like, what? And it's like, this fucking preacher gets on, big fat guy. He's like, if you want Miracle Water, blessings happen when you have Miracle Water. Miracle Water is a godly water. And then, bro, the whole time this thing's playing, it's like, Bible fucking texts of just like small print is like rushing across the screen. That fucking, none of this shit is like, it's trying to explain everything while you just got this old black lady that's just like, oh, child, when I got my holy water, I had diabetes in my left leg. and it was gone immediately. And I was walking and I was dancing right to my church. And I was just like, how is this legal? Like, A, how is this legal? B, who the fuck is watching this? Like, well, I gotta give me some fucking miracle water. I gotta give me some goddamn miracle water right now.
I remember watching like the Pat Roberts and stuff, and I don't mean to just be picking on this guy, but like I remember watching it, and he'd like have like his little prayer section of his show, and he's like, I feel somebody in Minnesota. They are suffering from back pain, and God said, heal you. And like they're just like healing people. Not even like
not even
phone.
there.
Not even like through the phone. Like hey, I got this back pain or something. Just like, oh yeah, no, I see him and I sense him, and and God's going to heal you right now. And like it's like
once you start sensing somebody from a different state, that's witchcraft. That's the devil. That's the devil. You can't start. That's so fucking good though. But we could do it, man, because there's enough.
And then
dumb
just
people.
send in
Listen,
some money.
I even got the preacher voice. I just get up there and the God, he has said, oh, I'm feeling it right now. Oh, I see a man in Minnesota. His name was Ricky. He's about 5'9" with brown hair. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Ricky's dealing with the back problems. Oh, God. I feel Ricky right now. He's sitting on his couch dealing with these back problems. Lord, the Lord help him. Lord, help him. Heal this man, Lord. Heal him. And he's walking right now. And then like everybody's just clapping. No, nobody's seen nothing. I mean, Ricky's dancing in this house. Oh, my God. Brother Bobby, show him how Ricky's dancing. And Brother Bobby just, that's how he's dancing right there. And everybody's like, oh my God, a miracle.
Now send in at least 10% of your earnings to 188.
Pastor Greg, lock the doors. Now y'all ain't getting out of this here establishment until I get 75. Oh, nope. Lord's telling me $85,000. Bro, we could do it, man. I got the preacher voice too. I get out there and the devil smites you. And I ain't even gotta make sense. Like none of it's gotta make sense. You know, Daniel, he was in the den with the lions. In the den with the lions, Lord. And then God said, "Nuh-uh, lions, not today. You ain't gonna eat Daniel today." And Daniel walked out. And everybody going back, oh. And you know who else? You know who else walked out? Poverty. Poverty, right? As soon as you put that $100 bill in that offering plate right there. I swear to God. Look, we could do it in like 2-minute sections of like preaching, 5-minute sections of let's like give me your money.
Crowdfunding.
Oh, speaking of taking people's money, me and Dylan was thinking about like doing a Patreon. I know people are gonna be like, God, Michael, you were always like that's the last thing I want to do.
It is the last thing.
It is the last thing. This is it.
We're at that point.
we're at the finale. We are. So what we were thinking about was doing like a Patreon like episode. It sucks. I don't want to do it.
One per, like we would like to go back to doing three episodes of each per week, but then ultimately we're not getting paid anything across the board for anything. So for those that would like to hear that third one, we would like to just bring that one back as a.
I'm sensing right now.
Yeah.
You're listening to this podcast in your car. You got $10 in your bank account. You're like, I don't know who to give this to. But I think we should call it Mike and Dylan Don't Want to Live in a Box.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good name for it.
What? Mike and Dylan, so it's mad.
Mike and Dylan.
I mean, I guess don't want to live in a box or don't want to be homeless. Like,
let me think of one. Mad. I want to make it Mad Cock or something like that. Mad Dick.
Do the Mad Gay.
I'll have by Wednesday. I'll have an acronym for it. By the next episode, I'll have an acronym for it. But man, we could do the fucking church. Like I got that right now by the courthouse.
There's so many documentaries on how these people just like,
and nobody reads the Bible too. Like, so look, I'm gonna have a crowd full of people. I'm gonna be like, in 1 Timothy chapter 5, God said, Michael, the name Michael is the chosen one that you need to get. I could give them like the child of prophecy, like from Naruto shit. I'll just be like, there was a boy who will bring great peace or great destruction, because bam, there you go. You got all the prophecy right there. There was this one lady that was like, they're hailing her as like the new Nostradamus on TikTok. Because she was like, I predict a tragedy with a river. I hate suit because bro, look, I'm going to ruin your whole like Nostradamus if you believe in people who can like foretell the future. So there's a thing called like, it's like pseudo prophecies. I could be like, I predict it's a gun. It shoots multiple rounds a minute, and it's going to be at a park. And in 8 months from now, when a park gets shot up, because God, we love shooting up parks. Listen, that's American. That's American. Going into an establishment with a lot of people and shooting it up. That is, at this point, like hot dogs. All right, I accept it into the American
Apple
dream.
pie.
That's right. It's as American as apple pie. But when it happens, people are going to be like, "Wow, Mike predicted that." So if I predicted a natural disaster with a river right after Helene happened, I'm like, so rivers flood all the time. What I can't stand, though, is like everybody started to play the blame game with the fucking river in Texas. They were like, they didn't heed the flash flood warning. Nobody does. That we get that warning all the time, and just like,
well, and like, where the fuck is the flood? Like, actually, because like I live near where there's like a river down, like it's a creek. It's not a river, but like the hills and everything means that the water has rushed through there at different times. So there could be a flood.
I love
at
that. You're
some
just
point.
like, I'm living in it's a river. Well, I mean, it's not. It's a creek. It's a creek. Got a little bit of water in it, but yeah.
But like it goes into High Rock Lake, and there's literally the creek that goes down by my house. And how much water would it take for that to like wash out like up where my area is?
They're like flash flood. I'm getting a flash flood warning. I go look outside. I got that like stream going down my sidewalk, and I'm like,
Which is the same as always?
Yeah, is
when
that
it rains.
it? Like nobody. And then when it's something, it's because you guys have fucking just been like, flash flood warning. Just put it out there. There's a lot of rain. Got to scare people so they turn on the news. Like that's essentially what it's always been. So now when people aren't heeding these warnings and we're like actual flooding happens, we're like, oh shit, they weren't prepared. They didn't heed the warning. Nobody heeds the warning because it happens all the fuck. Every time it rains, you get a flash flood warning. Every time.
It's like my buddy's in-laws. They live up in New York, and they live off of a river that I think in order for it to reach where their house is, it's like a 500-year event or whatever. Happened twice in 3 years. Like 500-year event, and like literally came up. They've got like a foundation, so they're already up off the ground, like 3 or 4 feet, and then it came up like 5 or 6 feet into their house and like flooded the whole first level of their house 2 times in 3 years, and it's a 500-year floodplain. Like,
we're sorry, but your insurance doesn't cover act of God.
Anymore.
No, it does not cover act of God. Sorry.
Like they had flood insurance, but then it was canceled after that second one. They're like, no, we're not covering this anymore. You guys got to move.
Yeah, fuck that. Look, we're going to force you to have insurance, and then we're just not going to cover anything.
No, and nothing. Yeah,
how do we make money off of you? We force the government to force you to get this shit, okay? And then shit starts happening. Well, we don't want to cover that, okay? We'll cover, I don't know, if an army of bats came in and they attacked your firstborn son, not your secondborn son or a daughter, your firstborn son specifically, we cover that. Unless it starts happening.
Only on Tuesdays.
Yeah, only on Tuesdays.
If it happens any other day other than Tuesday, then we're probably not going to be able to cover that.
Right, and it has to be on the day that your next door neighbor's second cousin passed away. And if none of that happens, then you are not getting any fucking money. And if it does for some reason happen, we'll give you like $200.
Well, it's like my wife got in a car accident, and the car insurance company, the person that was at fault.
Oh, sorry, we don't cover car accidents. Yeah, wait, what? Yeah, we don't cover any car accidents.
So it'd been over a year that we'd been waiting for any kind of movement from the insurance company. She got taken to the hospital, through an ambulance, all the stuff, got all these checkups and everything, and turned out that she probably got a concussion and all these other things. And then like, I don't want to go into too much detail about it just because it's still going on, but like technically we had the lawyers involved with it, or we finally got them in after a year, and they're like, yeah, so you might get like around $5,000 or something like that, and then after our fees and everything, you probably get like $300 to $500. And it's like, wait, what?
And don't you like it how they have it set up like that? It's like, oh, go get a lawyer, so you'll get all your money.
And then there's nothing. There's no money left over after
I
the
love
lawyer.
this.
Like,
and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Listen, guys, if we all just like 350 million of us, if we all just went somewhere and just started throwing stuff, all right, start dragging people out of houses, all right, diddle their buttholes for once. We're at the point, like, our government could literally molest us and just be like, never happened. Which, honestly, that puts the uncle in Uncle Sam, because that is an uncle thing to do. Yeah. To be like, that never, That did not exist. What they're talking about did not ever happen. That does.
So
make
Uncle
them...
Sam, yeah, it's got a whole new meaning.
All right. So last time we ended the podcast on this cliffhanger of I got the guy that hired me fired. So we're gonna go through this one and we're going to see if this guy was an asshole or not. All right. Yo, dudes. I've been listening to your show for a few weeks and I love it. Keep listening, that'll change.
Have you heard this one?
Yeah, right. Keep up the good work. I'm quitting drinking right now, so hearing your struggles over nicotine helps me a little bit in my day. Anyways, I, 32 male, got the guy, 40 male, that hired me, fired for sexual harassment. I work apartment maintenance, and after 2 years of Section 8 housing full of drugs and gangs, I got a job in a very upscale 14-story tall building in a downtown metropolitan area. I read that so well. God bless America.
Just cruised right on through.
Wow. So many big words, and I just powered through it. I started working here 9 months ago, and a few days into the job, I was catching some major red flags from my direct supervisor. And if you guys are curious, I'll actually send you the email I sent to HR when I complained. The biggest red flag I didn't believe in was this man is 40 years old, never married, and had 0 kids. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal, but the more I got to know this guy, the more it made sense. The crazy stuff. This man got to go on one ride along with a police officer over a decade ago, and that started this weird obsession with violence that he thought he was RoboCop, but got denied for the military and police force. So he had this insane fantasy for violence and being in fights and being covered in blood. And he would word for word say this anytime he felt he needed to assert himself to anyone present. Bro, what? That's a serial killer.
A living fantasy.
Yeah, you are going to die now. I hope you have marked yourself for death. Like, he is like thinking of so many ways he's going to just like pull you apart. It's not like Mike's jokes here and there about burning pedos and bitches jumping his woman getting uppercuts. Those are funny. The issue is when he would tell us stuff, it would usually be at the end of a long rant where he works himself up and eventually starts having a flashback about when he was a bouncer in a gay nightclub 15 years ago. This man was a major narcissist, and he would say anything to back up his bullshit, even talking about beating people's ass in a non-funny way to a point where he might just start punching the wall. He's getting so worked up, and I was sitting there punching him. God, I can feel how I was punching him. Oh, that's fucking weird. A resident challenged him over a shower head install, and I got to listen to him scream for 20 minutes about how she can go fuck herself. At one point, he mentioned that she's from another state, and apparently he's well known there and will ruin her life over this shower head swap in her unit. He was a walking time bomb and so extremely aggressive, everyone walked on eggshells all day long. One day he was bitching about an ex-coworker that got fired, and he was literally bragging, saying, I get people here fired. I fucking had enough of his bullshit. And this point, and started documenting the sexually charged stuff he would say to the 5 female coworkers and the residents in the building.
I think
is that mine?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking unprofessional. Leave it in.
Got her.
God,
phone call.
Dude, that's the worst.
Yeah, that's the wife.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
And we're asking people to now sign on to subscribe for this extra episode. This is the type of quality you will get if you subscribe to Mike and Dylan Hate Drama.
All I know is the podcast episodes are going to be real entertaining right after I get done from my shift from the bike shop. I had enough of this bullshit. At the point, I started documenting the sexually charged stuff he would say to the 5 female coworkers and residents in the building. I started taking notes of times, days, witnesses, and comments on Monday, and had enough to send to, on Monday. That's when he started taking notes of all this, and then he had enough to send a complaint by Tuesday. I didn't even try to remember all the shit he said over 6 months. All it took was 3 days. That's it. We have a team of 8 people with 2 men, and every day at 10 a.m. sharp, we meet in the main lobby on the first floor as a team and talk about the day's plan. This is where he sunk his ship. Day 1, the office mentions a resident complained about loud sex, and he made a point to give everyone a 5-minute speech about how loud he fucks, and it shouldn't be a big deal. The girls were disgusted, and you could feel the uneasy tension in the air. Yeah, I'll fuck the pussy, bro. I'll fuck it hard, okay? And when you fuck hard, the bitches are going to moan hard.
Yeah, it's not mac and cheese. It's not mac and cheese sounds. It's
right. It sounds like I'm trying to get a fucking combat boot unstuck from a mud pit. Like, fuck a mac and cheese sound. And you don't think that would make a fucking woman scream with her moist clam just trying to trying to unclog a big fucking with my meat stick, and this is like they're just like sitting there like, what the fuck is this guy? I can punch a goddamn wall right now. Ugh. All right. The girls were disgusted, and you could feel the uneasy tension in the air. It was gross. Day 2, one of the girls was wearing a low-top shirt, and he told her to put her tits away in front of everybody. She was 20 years old, mind you. Day 3, he called one of the female maintenance members a hose monster, a tranny, and a cunt within the span of a few hours while trying to flirt with her. Come here, you little hose monster. I like that one. I'm going to start calling my wife that. She was so fucking pissed. I got to listen to her bitch later that day for 20 minutes straight. Long story short, I typed all of that up in an email on Thursday. I sent it Friday and never saw him again. Here's where I'm the asshole. This man has type 1 diabetes and he just lost his health insurance. Here's where I'm not the asshole. I would beat the living shit out of another man if he was acting like this towards my wife at work, so I probably saved his life. Hope to hear your comments, guys. All right, so I'm going to tell a really sad story. All right. And it's about Tommy. I feel so, like, I've always felt so bad about this. So Tommy was our maintenance guy at one of the box plants that I worked at. All right. I was the lead man on second. Technically, I was the only person there, so I was the supervisor. But they called me a lead man, so they didn't have to pay me and give me all that. Yeah, vacation and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know how it works. So Tommy was bad at maintenance. He was not good. All right. And he came in every day drunk, super drunk, and then would drink on the job also, and then sleep most of the time. And anytime we ever had a problem, he would scream at us, just very, very angrily, very angrily. Like,
that was our Johnny.
It was very, very rough, and it had gotten to a point where like shit would just be stagnant at work because he couldn't do shit because he was just waking up, super hungover, just yelling at people, being a dick. All right. He also had diabetes. So one day he comes in like super drunk, and I'm like, how do y'all not spell it? I was tired of it, man. You know, I'm sitting here, I got to work multiple fucking jobs. I got to fucking run a machine while working a bander while being the fucking lead man. And I was like, you know, our fucking production supervisor's there. So, as long as, you know, shit's going well, he don't give a fuck, you know, anybody can fucking work there. And he just comes up to us and he reeks of alcohol. I'm like, how the fuck do y'all not smell that? And so, you know, I started it. I was fucking pissed. I complained about it before. I was fucking pissed. So, he goes up to him and he's like, oh, he does, you know, smell like alcohol. So he does all this stuff, and, Tommy gets fired. And like 3 months later, he died. And I was like, fuck, I killed him.
No, you didn't.
Like, I murdered that man. I took away his insurance and his will to live from, because you got to think about how good that job was to just, but he complained about it. He didn't like it. He hated this fucking job.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you just sleep all day, bro. And anytime anybody has to go in there and fucking, for anything, he would just scream at him, which I'm cool. Like, if you're going to drink and sleep, at least be a cool dude. If you're a cool dude, I don't think I would.
Oh, you guys got a problem.
Oh, shit, yeah. Let me tie my shoes and I'll go over there. I'll help you out. Like, if that was the case, sure. But all of it added together, and like, shit would be so stagnant. I'd be sitting there busting my ass, and this motherfucker would just be sleeping. And I'm just, man, it sucks. But I think I did the right way, because I think I did the right thing because I'm telling the story. So it must make me sound good. You know what I'm saying? His family might be like, you know, what a dick.
Well, no, I think the thing is, though, is like, you're not ultimately responsible for anybody outside of yourself. And so, like, he made his own bed. He laid in it. Like, I
murdered him.
When I was working.
I killed him. Dylan, you ain't gotta stick up for me. I like to think of myself as like a RoboCop, you know? This guy was drinking at work, and I was like, I terminated him. That sounds fucked because he actually did die. I didn't terminate him.
But
that
was
a terrible joke.
What's the deal with these guys? Like, the guy in the story that he got fired, which is, you know, rightfully so. He's a piece of shit. So, like, obviously nobody wanted to work with him. But like, what makes those people that they're so fucking angry all the time that they just, like, all they can think about is like being pissed at something, like, just all the time, just angry at the world. Politics.
That's what I think. The people that like creators online and people who just, that's all they talk about.
Just drama.
Where's the happiness in your day?
Is that where we're gonna get to? Because we like drama so much and we talk about it all the time.
I don't know, maybe, but
are we just gonna be miserable fucks here in like a year
I've
or
hung
two?
out with people where they just like, you start hanging out with them and they immediately bring up politics, and that's all they talk about. And I'm just like, where do you not? Is there nothing else going on?
So was that you at one point? Because that was me at one point. Like I was that guy that like everything, because everything eventually can turn into politics pretty fucking easy. And you know, through my like 20s, it did often. Like I would just like rail against, you know,
the man.
Yeah. And did you not, like when you were in your...
No, I just think of you with that mohawk. Just fuck everybody.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody.
Yeah, no, I
What's that one guy that he put the diaper on and ran independent? What was his name?
Ran independent?
Fuck, what was that one guy? He was like, he
Oh, you're talking about for presidency.
Yeah. It was the Trump-Hillary thing. And then they asked him where, like, somewhere in fucking...
You know, there's a...
Israel was, and he was like, what? They were like, this place. And he was like, what the fuck is that?
It's funny the connections you start putting together, though. There is a picture of me in a diaper as an adult.
Is there
like,
really?
Full on, like, the colored socks, bonnet, little bib. I played a show.
Colored socks?
Yeah, like with the stripes on it.
Who says colored?
The stripes.
Who says colored socks?
The colored socks. The socks with colors on them. The stripes. I don't know.
Which sounds worse, colored people or the coloreds?
The second one for sure. 100%.
Someone was like, because it was during the whole people of color, and people like did not know how to reference black people. And I was making this one joke. I was like, is it like, it was on stream too. I was playing Elden Ring, and I was like, well, people of color. I just say
wait,
black.
This was recently?
Well, Elden Ring came out in like 2020, 2018, something like that. Fucking, I don't remember.
You just had brought up that you were playing it recently.
Yeah, but it was in the height of, like, you didn't know what to call a black person. Like, you just like, hey, there's a black guy. What's up? Oh, that's my friend. He's black. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, you was like, wait, is that wrong? This is like people of color. And we were talking about, like, how you could fuck it up the worst. And then someone was like, saying the coloreds, and I was like, oh, that's probably the word. That is that, because then we got on the topic of, is it worse to say colored people or the coloreds? And we was like, fuck, we really need a black person. And then someone in the fucking chat would be like, oh, I'm black, and we'd be like, really? And they're like, no. I'm like, fuck. Mike has never, listen, I don't know why I referred to myself like The Rock right there, but I have never been one where I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get canceled. I don't care. That's why I hate, more than anything, I hate the people that are like, you can't say anything. You can. Like, I accept the things that come to me. If someone takes a clip of me saying the coloreds, okay, and a black person gets so angry about it, they punch me in the face in public. That's just what happens. All right. That's but 99.9% of the time, it's not going to happen.
Well, and 99% of the time, it's going to be a white person that's going to be
white people love getting mad.
Well, and that was one of the things.
But it's it's like the Daenerys Targaryen thing, where like someone's just like, I am an ally. It's not the coloreds, Mike. It's people of color. And then they imagine themselves, it's like the RoboCop thing, but it's like Daenerys Targaryen, where she's getting crowd surfed by the slaves. They're all celebrating her. That's what that's what they listen. I love Democrats. All right. I love Republicans too. Y'all are both weird, but god damn it, like the videos we used to get on TikTok when someone would like say like a joke or something like that, or they would say something real racist, and then it would start off with like a Democrat, and like half their face would be in the shadows and be like, you like talking about talk about people of color like that, and then they show their full face and be like, well, I have their back. And I'm like, bro, this is the gayest thing I've ever fucking seen. Delete your account. Look, I hope they look back on that and they're just like, oh, what was I doing? Like, just, you could be like, hey man, that's not cool. That's the, but they would always be like,
see, my favorite was when like there was that girl that was talking about how she didn't want like any white dudes and blah blah blah. She only wanted like a black king, and it's like a really not attractive white girl.
Yeah, and they were like, we delegate this to our to the Mexicans, and the Mexicans are like, oh no,
going down the chain.
We're going to send this to the white people. White people's like, no, we're sending this to the Asians. That's unity. Though.
That was so crazy.
That is nothing will make you unite more than a fat ugly bitch, man. You get,
wasn't that a playoff of like a Chappelle thing for like wasn't it like a race like where like they were trading like Tiger Woods, like whoever was
That
like
was the
biracial.
draft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wasn't that a Chappelle thing or?
Because they drafted Eminem as a black guy. Yeah, that was a Chappelle skit, but I don't think that wasn't like that. Listen, but I think everybody's dealt with that though. They were like, "Oh, they're about to hit on this girl," and this absolute fucking linebacker goes out from beside the bar, and she's like, "She's not interested."
I wasn't talking to you.
You know, yeah, I wasn't talking to her. I was talking to you, baby girl. You want a basket of chicken wings? And she's like, yes. It's like, okay, let's get you a basket of chicken wings, and then
While you're busy over there.
Yeah, while I have distracted you. Listen, the people like to say fat women and black guys is like moth on a flame, but honestly, it's just real skinny dudes. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, real skinny guys. Like, I don't know what it is. Just a big girl that's what they want. That's what they. Moth to a flame is so goddamn funny. It's the funniest fucking. Listen, it's the funniest fucking thing. I love it. Look, I love when we can all joke about each other. Ugh, fucking yawning.
Yeah, you've been tired, haven't you?
I've been tired.
Did you really give up all your like the caffeine and the sugar and
everything,
all that stuff?
man?
See, you were saying yesterday. Mike sent me a funny message, and I don't even think I replied to it. But he's like, I think I have cancer. And I think it was, like the 30 cigarettes a day that used to keep the cancer back. But now I'm like tired and sleepy.
Yeah.
And now I'm like tired and sleepy. I wake up for like 2 hours and then I'm tired and fall back asleep again. And I meant to text you back, but like I was very running around yesterday. But I was going to be like, well, maybe it's like, the sugar and the caffeine and the fucking no bread, no yogurt, whatever, all you're giving up. Like maybe it's all that's making you tired instead of just the cigarettes.
Listen, it has just not been fun.
It's not fun.
I just want to go back to smoking so bad. Like, I've done it we're coming up on.
See, I can do it. Look,
yeah, we're coming up on 3 weeks now. I am not enlightened. I am not. I just like, man, I just really want a cigarette.
In that time, though, if you were to take, that's almost like $200. $200 you've saved.
Wow. Don't care. Wow. Not for the happiness that I do not have anymore. My existence feels meaningless. I feel like I am just plopping around. Like, not even just plopping. Like, everywhere I go is just
every month, like $300 that you're not having to spend, that you're not having to come up with.
I mean, I guess if like I could pay my bills and I was like, ooh, I got $300 to spend on. No, it's just like, I probably shouldn't have been buying them cigarettes because I was so behind. So it's not even like I get to benefit from that. And I just feel so, I don't know, outside of my normal self too. It's a very weird feeling. I'm going to read some advice from this. The title says, "A fan reaching out and rambling." Hi, Mike and Dylan. My name is Caleb, and I really enjoy your podcast. Hey, Caleb.
What's up, Caleb?
Yeah, we should just do when they say their name, just
Caleb.
do that. The fucking Alcoholics Anonymous. Hey, Caleb. I'm a painter and listen while working, especially while I get the great pleasure of watching my paint dry. Honestly, it's probably more exciting than the podcast. I've been listening for about 2 months. I'm trying to catch up on every episode. 2 more episodes left. I guess I have a couple of statements that I'd like to make. I hope we can get some conspiracy episodes in the future. You guys would be hilarious to hear, debate, and discuss it. Is that a possibility? The time we did it, it was not hilarious. The next episode we might discuss. We might get a podcast. We might get a conspiracy for the podcast.
I think we need to do, the problem with what we do is we're very last minute. Like, we're literally showing up today and just like, this is what we're going to do. And I think for a legit conspiracy, we at least have to, like,
research it a little
do
bit.
A little bit of,
and have just what we're going to talk about. We really need to get on, I just want to go, go for the jugular and be like, was 9/11 an inside job?
I've always thought it was.
Yeah, me too. God, how does jet fuel melt the fucking plane, but you get the fucking passports and shit off of it?
There's so many inconsistencies.
There's so many inconsistencies. And then it does, if you watch the footage of people just shooting it, it like there's fucking detonations going on up the building. And everybody's just like, nope, that's what happens during regular science. If you were just you believing in that, honestly, I think that, and that's where people are like, oh, because you're not college educated. If you were college educated, you'd be able to accept this at face value and just not even think about it.
I feel like it's very Epstein-ish now, like, because that's what we're getting fed again. And like it was a scenario where like there was enough inconsistencies, and then they're just like, nope, this is what we're telling you it was. And then it's like, okay, well, we just buy this now. And then if you think anything was not exactly like they said it was, then you're a fucking nut job. No, both those things can be true. That's pretty much what happened. But you know, like why we're like, so yeah, let's hold off on like actually doing it, because I would like to come back with some of the
we're gonna
details.
have to get our facts together.
Well, it's been fucking what, 24 years since since it really happened, and like
how do you navigate a plane over all them fucking telephone poles to hit the side of the fucking Pentagon, and there's no debris left?
No debris.
And then you take all the fucking footage from the CCTV in a fucking like 2 mile radius that was around, bro. Like there's so much. Like, how do you not believe that was not an inside job? And then the guy who fucking owned the World Trade Centers, he was like, he got his insurance payout. You can't get a fucking insurance payout in a car accident that covers car accidents if it was the other person's fault. You can't get that. But this motherfucker got the payout for the World Trade Centers twice because 2 planes hit, and they counted as separate tragedies.
They really got paid twice?
They got paid, yeah, they got double the payout because 2 planes hit. And I'm proud to be an American. Look, I don't give a fuck.
What else did they say on there?
Mike and Dylan love conspiracies would be a great podcast. All right.
We can just change the name of this one.
Also, I want to say with the Jimmy Dean situation, that's definitely not gay. Low-key rape by deception, in my opinion.
Rape, yeah.
Bro is a victim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jokes aside, bro is definitely a victim. If you had a dick and then you got that shit turned into I can't believe it's not pussy, then and you didn't tell somebody, then yes, it is, that is rape. I'm sorry.
What about like impossible pussy or beyond pussy?
I think that's a Dave Chappelle joke.
What?
The beyond pussy. That is.
Is that a new one?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's 100%.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Impossible pussy. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He makes a beet juice reference. Me saying I can't believe it's not pussy that was pretty good. But yeah, it's so hard. Dave Chappelle says so much shit. Shut the fuck up, Dave. Let me get a goddamn joke in. All right, bud?
Let's have him on the podcast. Does anybody know
Dave?
Yeah.
Dave will be on the podcast maybe next month.
I'm going up to New York in like a couple weeks, so I could just, swing by Ohio and
swing by anywhere that just be on the streets and look out for somebody so we can get a fucking celebrity on here so I can at least release some clips of me with a fucking celebrity and then, or me fucking a celebrity.
Or a celebrity fucking you.
Right, yes. Fucking... Could you imagine me and Bill Burr fucking talking about something stupid? He's just clowning on me the whole time.
Oh yeah, no, he's so fucking witty.
That man destroyed fucking Theo Von. I'm not Theo Von though. I could hold my own. I'm like, listen, brother, just because you couldn't fucking talk about your feelings because everybody around you told you it was gay, don't mean I can't talk about my goddamn feelings. I'm sorry it happened like that. You should always be aware and have choice. On a lighter note, keep up the great work, and I look forward to listening to you for years to come. P.S. Mayonnaise dick and completely flatten your tongue. Look, years to come, it will be Dylan H. driving. Mike gonna kill himself. All right, look.
You said multiple times that's never gonna happen. You love yourself too much.
It might. All right, but if I did it, this is how I'd do it. I have to get it. If I ever get a house with a garage, so I can't be too successful. So I actually don't even go to the don't go to the Patreon, because if Mike ever gets a house, that's the only way I'd do it. House with a garage, carbon monoxide.
So my wife had a dream the other day, and she said it was like super fucked up, and it fit your style. So she's like, she was doing something with her daughters, and I had died, and then she came back home, and I was there because I had not actually died. We were pretending that we were dead because we wanted the virality of we had died. And so we had said that we had a bunch of these podcasts in the bag when we died. And so both of us had died, and we were just basically still making podcasts, but we were dead. So we were using...
That's a genius fucking thing, though. Because it's like, no. All these are... we need to just do all right.
Mike and Dylan are dead.
Yeah, someone needs to. This is what someone needs to do. Someone needs to Photoshop me and Dylan right next to each other and like make it look like a Daily Mail thing. And they were like, podcasters dead. All right. And then every time we release one, everybody just be like, oh man, it's like they're still here. And people be like, well, how are they releasing podcasts if they're still alive? And like, no.
They just have these.
These were already. Yeah, these were already made.
And they're talking about current events though.
Like, but I've seen the episode where they literally talked about doing this. Yes, but that's why it's so crazy, because then it actually
predicted it.
They predicted it. Yeah. So, but they had a bunch of them in the bag. So it's like, no, this is talking about like current events. They literally predicted their death. Why would they not be able to predict this also? Fucking retards.
See, when she told me that, I was like, that does sound like a Mike idea.
That's a good idea though, man. Nothing makes you fucking like
go viral.
Bro, if I died, you know how many people would come out of the woodwork? Because here's one thing. I know that I'm going to get like some reception when I die, because a TikToker with like 200,000 followers will die, and they'll be like, you know, this big TikToker died. I'm like, whoa, I got like, you know, millions. So when I die, everybody's just going to be nut hugging. Nobody gives a fuck. You know, they're just like making their own, like Felonious Falafel died today by fucking jumping off of a guy. You know, he was hit by a truck trying to retrieve a classic stacker that dropped out of his Taco Bell bag. It's like, fuck. But everybody would be talking about it. Like, but then also people would be like, you know, it's crazy. I've been watching his videos, and, you know, his comedy, while it seems stupid as fuck, it was actually on a different level. And then people look at you in a different light because you died. Like, I never hit the pinnacle. So if I die before I ever like hit my prime, or God forbid I ever get in my prime and then I do die, like, bro, everybody would be like,
what could have been?
What could have been, because they didn't get to see the fall off. Normally we get to see someone's fall off, but I really hope I get to have a fall off, because that means you actually made some kind of money.
Yeah, or impact. But
God, Joe Rogan made $200 million. Like, if I just had $200, Jesus Christ.
You could buy yourself cigarettes for the month.
I could. All right. So the title says, great advice. Hey there, Michelangelo and Dill Pickle. I wanted to say that you guys have great advice on one of your podcasts that one of you said, if you have anxiety, just stop and don't have anxiety. I did that and my life is great, and I just slipped the anxiety switch and it worked and I feel a lot better. So on that note, I wanted to say, Mike, have you thought about following your own advice? Just stop wanting to smoke and you won't crave it anymore, and the hard times you're having about not smoking won't be so hard anymore. That's what I literally did. I just said, I'm not smoking anymore. Flipped it the fuck off, okay? So if I could do it, you could flip off that switch, stop being a pussy, all right? And just get over your anxiety. Go outside and just look at the sun and let the sun hit you. Maybe fucking sun your asshole, okay? And then your anxiety will go away. I haven't tried it with my agoraphobia yet, but I'm going to do it. Just stop wanting to smoke and you'll be set. Anyways, love the show. You guys always give the best advice. And this one was one of the best yet. Love y'all. P.S. Mike, please stop being so thick and distracting. I can't focus on what y'all say. Look, my calf muscles, well, I wouldn't even say calf muscles, just my jiggly calves. People love that shit.
They're defined. Like, you have very, like, your muscles are very defined. I've got big
It's
old
got to
calves,
carry
but-
around. It's got to carry around this big fat fuck all day.
But I have big calves. I just have no, like, definition in them. They're just, like, fat as fuck.
I got the definition.
Yeah.
I used to be all muscular and shit, and now I'm not.
Well, your legs are.
Life is like a box of chocolates. Listen, this has been a great episode. I think that we will, next episode, we'll update you on the Patreon situation. All right.
Yeah, so on Wednesday we'll be able to at least have a direction, because it's either Patreon or it could be, you know, membership through whichever platform you want. So Spotify,
or if,
Apple
like, look, if
Podcasts,
you know a rich person, all right, who has not had their knob just absolutely slobbed on recently, Dylan he's ready. All right, he has been working out his jaw muscles. I just had that tooth removed, so you know my jaw's still kind of. I want to give some, like, if somebody's getting their dick sucked, I want to give them their money's worth. And right now, there's a lot of tightness in this side, so
no, there's some
you got to take up the mantle.
Some vagina that needs eating or something. I can
No,
pull that
man,
one off,
there's
but,
no.
I can't
Look,
slob
we
a
could.
knob.
Two daddies judging baddies. There's got to be like one wealthy, lonely lady that's just like listening. She's got a couple cats around her.
Well, see, and I could probably like talk my wife into being like, well, this is to pay the bills.
I could absolutely talk my wife into a sugar mama situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like
I get there, she's like 74 years old, bro. I'm back.
Fucking do it, dude.
She's like $100,000 a year. I'm beating it down.
Yeah,
I'm going like.
Can you feel this at all? No.
No, she can. She will. She will feel it. I had this one ex, man, you had to fucking like elbow that shit, like fucking 5-star frog splash the clitoris just for her to feel anything. And I'm just like, this is not, you gotta see a doctor.
Yeah.
Because I can't feel my jaw.
This should be more sensitive of an area.
You know what, guys? if you want advice that you need advice for, if you got a problem you need advice for, you can submit your story at mikeanddylan.com, MikeandDylan.com. Also, if you just want to join the subreddit MADHD, you will see the first fish that I caught. Didn't even bring it up. Didn't even bring up the fish that I caught. We'll talk about it in the next episode, and we will see you guys next time.
Later.